challenge the concept of professionalism. Wow.
I think it's a marketing scheme.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
It doesn't make any better than, just because it has pro doesn't mean it's the best thing. Yeah, doesn't mean it's pro.
Especially with Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Like my dad.
Yeah. At a certain point, it doesn't become pro anymore.
No.
No.
I mean, I have a iPhone 13 Pro Max.
Do you feel like a pro?
I mean, why do you need I guess pro people use iPhone for professional stuff, but me, I don't.
You can, but like most people just buy the pro version because it's the better phone.
Pro Max.
The Pro Max is like the better phone. Bigger battery.
Gotta add the Max there.
Better processor. Like that kind of G's.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, but some people don't look into any of that.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it has that extra stuff, but like the only thing that people actually pay attention to is like, oh, is the camera good and is the battery good? That's it. Like if you boil it down to like a simple user experience.
I know, and then these people go into lines every year it comes out.
Yeah, I got it.
Do you think iPhone is like a kind of like a new car? You know how it comes out every year, but like cars come out every year,
right?
So I guess like new teenagers come and I'm getting my first iPhone. Is it going to be new or used? Is it going to be the 13 or the 14?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, at what point do iPhones or like cease to be cool? Is it like 3 generations back, 4 generations back? Like,
well, it all stops in the United States.
Huh?
It stops in the United States.
What do you mean?
What I mean to say is, bro, pro equipment doesn't make you a professional. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the LeisureHub Podcast. We are your hosts, Justin and
Pedro.
And we have a zesty. I say zesty a lot. I need to start switching it up. We have a fantastic episode, a professional episode for you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Pro equipment doesn't make you a pro. If you couldn't gather what we were talking about in the beginning of that, basically, this whole marketing like ploy, right?
Yeah.
Has this pro or ultra or max on the end, and it's this big conception that the thing you're buying is the best thing that you can possibly buy, and it'll make you a better professional by having that product.
Not necessarily. Not one chance.
But that's the marketing behind it. You know what I mean?
100%.
They're feeding you this because they're like, well, if you buy this $1,100 phone, if you're talking about a Pro Max, if you buy this Pro phone, you'll be able to do so much on it. You'll be able to get so much more work done. You'll be able to take the best quality pictures. You'll be able to play the best kind of games.
I mean, you can. I mean, I heard somewhere that this thing has more power than like the first computer.
Oh yeah.
Or first computer that brought us to the moon and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I don't know a lot of shit when it comes to this, but I mean, that speaks a lot.
Bro, the amount of tech that is stuffed in a phone is insane. Like if you think, you and I were talking about this before, but if you think about like just 10 years ago, where we were in tech, like 10 years ago wasn't very long. I was 19 and you were 18.
Oh my God. No, 19.
Or 19.
What? Dude.
You don't remember how old you were?
I'm 29.
You're not 29.
Yes, I am.
Oh yeah, you are. Davey's the one that's younger. Yeah.
Okay.
I almost tripped up there. I was like,
dude, I'm tripping too.
Yeah. But if you go back 10 years, even 5 years ago, the quality and like the performance of tech, it was good for the time. But if you try going back to a phone from 5 years ago, it's a little bit slower. It's not great.
What would be 5 years ago? The iPhone 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Mine was working perfectly.
Yeah.
And the only reason I got a 13 Pro Max was because it wasn't charging. Then later I found out it was just like the little fuzz
there's dirt
in the charging port.
Yep.
And it works perfectly fine to this day.
You still have it?
It's my daughter's phone now.
I thought you said no phones.
Huh?
I thought you said no phones.
There's no...
For your children.
Yeah, we don't charge it. It's like... It's nothing. But it's a fully workable phone, but...
For now, until she just breaks it. Which and it will happen eventually because that's kids.
I mean, the screen is cracked already.
So that's good. I mean, you could sell it for $500.
Really?
No way.
I was about to say. I was about to say because when I got this one, they told me I have to fix the screen in order for them to take it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now that you say that, but you're joking.
You could probably fix the screen and sell it for maybe $200.
They said $700.
When did they say that?
Like a year ago.
For the 10?
For the 10.
Wow. I mean, if you're trying to get some extra cash, bro, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I don't know if that's only if you're getting a new phone with it. You know what I mean? Like, no, we only give you $700 if you're getting a...
Yes, it's usually towards... They're not going to give you $700 out of pocket.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a GameStop type of thing, like cash and credit, you know?
Yeah. You know what's funny about this episode of the podcast?
What's that? I
finally have headphones, and you have headphones.
What?
And so it's like...
You like how it sounds?
Yeah, I'd be able to... I can hear you when you're talking, and it sounds a lot better. I feel like I'm blocking everything else out. I get to focus on what you're saying.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Welcome,
ladies and gentlemen. So let's leap in to our first topic, right? What is considered pro equipment? And we kind of like touched on this just a little bit, like in our small little intro. I'll let you take the reins on that one.
See, I feel like I'm not a pro in order to be talking about this, so I'm just gonna lead with my opinion with pro equipment.
Yeah,
to me, pro equipment is anything that helps you, anything that assists you in something that you're doing.
Wrong.
Hey, this is my opinion.
No,
this is my opinion.
Just facts on the LeisureHub Podcast.
Anything that assists you in something that you're doing, that is pro equipment. Now, what it determines whether it's pro or not, in my opinion, it's the level that you're at.
Yeah.
You know, whether, let's say, if you're taking photos, if you don't know nothing about, you know, the ins and outs of photography, obviously you're not going to need any expensive equipment or any quote unquote pro equipment.
Right.
But for what you're trying to do, a simple digital camera would do.
Right.
You get what I mean? So it wouldn't make you pro.
Yeah. I do think
only if you're trying your best. Then you realize that you need to upgrade.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but this is the best as I can explain it.
I kind of know what you're trying to say. Well, like, so I will say there is a difference between like equipment that is not considered like professional equipment to equipment that is professional equipment. Right.
Right.
A lot of that's it's a lot of professional equipment sounds better. Right. And sometimes it works better, but there comes a point where that like the cost difference to how good it is no longer matters anymore. Do you know what I'm trying to say? No. Wait,
the cost, say that again.
So the cost difference to how good it is no longer relates. For example, MacBook, right?
Yeah.
So you can spend the most amount of money on a MacBook, right? Which would probably be like the newest one. You could probably get it up to like probably $5,000. I'm guessing. I haven't looked at it. Well, bro, think about it. Like my
MacBook Pro,
a MacBook Pro,
$5,000.
Probably. You probably get it to $4,000 or $5,000. Because think about it, like the one that I have the M1 Max. It's fully spec'd out, but I don't have the fullest like amount of storage I could possibly have.
Yeah.
And they charge $200 extra to upgrade from like the one storage to the next one, and then the higher it is, they charge even more than that. So that's how they get you in this ladder kind of scheme type of thing. So, but I spent about $3,000 on my laptop, and it's not even fully maxed out. Like I could have added more storage and more, I think more processing power. I don't remember what I could have got, but I could have gotten a little bit more, and I would have paid closer to $4,000. But I have a little a mole on the inside of that Apple, so I got a discount.
Okay.
But
got the goodies.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you bought a brand new MacBook today, you could probably get it up there close to $4,000, probably close to $5,000. Yeah. But what I was saying with that is like, let's say you spent $4,000 on a laptop, right?
Yeah.
On a MacBook. Let's say you spend $4,000 on a PC. There's a difference in the performance on both ends.
I would feel more comfortable paying $4,000 for a PC.
Right. But
that's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's a laptop though.
Yeah, like, it's a very powerful laptop.
Right.
But you can build a a powerful PC for like the top of the line PC for like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000.
Yeah.
And that is like, that's the top of the line. Your maxed out specs. I mean, I'm assuming you can go higher than that.
I feel like you can.
But when you have a PC that expensive, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is $4,000 for a laptop versus $4,000 for a PC, there's a difference in performance at some point.
That's insane.
Right?
But it's a laptop. Okay. So, and you're paying the same price.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Apple privilege?
Yes.
It has to be.
Oh, 100%.
It has to be.
You and I both know Apple upcharges more for their product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no other company that can get away with charging what Apple charges for their products, and no one bats an eye at it.
Yeah.
And then when you throw Pro in the front of that, you're like, in your mind, you're like, I'm getting the best quality product.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to lie, the MacBook Pro, solid machine. But I guarantee you, compared to the one that I have, I'm sure you could build a PC that could render out videos way better than my MacBook could. And it does a really good job. Like, I guarantee you the performance on some other computers would be higher than
I was just about to ask, like, I know I'm no expert in computers. I'm no expert in any of the tech that goes behind this, but like, you know, is Apple everything about branding, dude? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So kind of like smoke and mirrors type of thing, like the illusion.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's you know, it's good. It's a good illusion.
Yeah,
and it works. It works really good, in my opinion. It has a good interface, and it's smooth. You know, but couldn't you also get that from a nice PC?
You could, but but that's the thing. People don't want the PC. They want, at least like people who aren't tech enthusiasts, right?
Okay.
So I'll say this. There's a difference between somebody who's buying a MacBook Pro versus somebody who's building their own PC. Somebody who's building their own PC usually, and this isn't to specify for everybody because it could be different. Maybe you like both. But usually if somebody's building their own PC and they like that over a Mac, it's because they're more tech oriented. That's what I've noticed.
I can see that.
And so because of that, they're like, oh, well, like I know more about the GPU and the CPU performance. I know more about like my monitor and like the amount of hertz that I want on my monitor, like 144 hertz, like all that stuff. Like, right. So those people are the people who are more like engaged in tech. And I doubt those same people are buying a MacBook.
See, now you saying that kind of leads me to a question. Like, but does that make you think that Apple, even though is a higher price, even though it's quote unquote Pro Max, whatever it is, does that, it kind of makes me think that it's made for beginners or people that don't really want to pay attention to any of the background stuff?
Well, see, here's the thing though. Here's the magic trick with that. Apple's done so well, and I don't want to just like purely pick on Apple because there's other products out there that do like Ultra and Pro.
This is just a pure example right here, like with branding and stuff like that.
But here's the funny thing is, Apple does their marketing so well and their branding so well that a MacBook is for anyone. It's it's for a professional, and it's for somebody who's going to college.
It works.
But like, and see, the thing is like, people who aren't tech oriented don't necessarily know what they need. Right. So like Apple's thing is like, and I don't know if you heard recently, but they just dropped the new MacBook Air MacBook Air. And I watched a review for MKBHD, shout out to him, but I watched a review with him, and basically like a lot, and this is the general consensus, it's not just him. I read some other articles, and basically a lot of people are saying, I don't advise you buying this laptop because it starts out at like $1099 and it's like with a low amount of storage. It's a good laptop, but you could buy the iteration before that one for a cheaper price,
of course.
And so like the current one, like if you want to upgrade to like a higher, like more storage and maybe like a little bit more processing power, like you're almost at like the cost of a MacBook Pro and this is for a MacBook Air. A MacBook Air is supposed to be cheaper. So like, so the thing is like, you know, they build these machines, right? And a lot of people who don't know a lot about a tech, they're like, oh well, I'll just buy the Air because I just need to type some stuff up for like an essay or whatever. But like realistically, a MacBook Air, like you don't like. Look, I'm an Apple. I like Apple MacBook Pros. Like I love them. Like they work perfectly,
right?
And I love the UI. I love the all the capabilities that it has on it. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like you could buy a good PC laptop for like cheaper.
Yep.
And it does just the same job, if not better.
Right.
But it's that branding, right? And it makes like every student, every company, every employee, professional, they want a MacBook because it's like the professional, like that's how you know you're at a professional level. You're using that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if you really think about it, okay, let's say, okay, take like the general public, and would they have a PC or Apple at home? Now, if you really think about it, you know how back then, I don't know if this is going on now, but I feel like back then everyone used to have a computer at home. Yeah. I'm not talking about a laptop. I'm talking about
a desktop.
Yeah, a desktop computer. See, it's like back then everybody used to have a landline, like phone.
Yeah.
But who has that anymore? I feel like people with PCs, they're either gaming or doing some crazy shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So other than that, why would you need a PC?
I mean, you don't.
Right? So I'm like, I guess Apple takes the throne, and like, are they the ones taking the landline, quote unquote, landline computer out of the home just to bring in phones and laptops?
Well, you know, you bring up an interesting thing, and I kind of like wanted to touch on this before we got this far in. But so you and you remember I had said like, oh, it stops in the US. You asked how far do iPhones go, and I said it stops in the US primarily because in other countries, India, Japan, China, wherever, every other country besides the United States, they primarily use an Android phone.
True.
And it varies. Specifically in India, I know that iPhones cost like so much. They're super expensive. So it's like,
so we're lucky.
We're overprivileged. It's first world problems, right? And so like getting an iPhone here is technically like luxury there.
Wow.
Right. And so like, but a lot of people don't care for iPhone over there. They like using their iPhones. It's the same type of principle as WhatsApp. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Like every other country, Europe, Japan, they use WhatsApp.
I mean, I'm linked to Hispanics, and basically everyone uses it.
Yeah, and it's like you come here and people are like, well, why don't you just use WhatsApp? Because you know there's a whole like debacle between like blue messages and green bubbles.
Yeah,
right, like that whole thing.
Yeah,
but like people in other countries, they don't experience that issue. Like they're like, why don't you just use WhatsApp?
Or they all green.
It's green, but they're using WhatsApp. So it's like
it's not even the iMessage. It's not even the original
Android
message app. Yeah.
So they're just using WhatsApp. So it's like I don't understand what the problem is with this blue messages versus green message. I don't understand what that whole thing is in other countries.
That's crazy.
Right? It only happens here, which is interesting.
That is. I mean, it's the USA. We have to do it differently.
USA, we got to do it big. Yep. The streets are made out of gold.
Inches, feet.
What kind of feet?
Huh?
Take your socks off? Well, like let me ask you though, because we kind of talked about like students, and we talked about like, you know, you're an employee. We talked about companies. Who are pro products for? Like, who are they for?
Professionals. Next point.
Done. Move on. Wrap it up. Time to move on. But like, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Like, it's like my friend, my connection in Apple, my friend, he works there, and he's seen people who literally just use like a $5,000 iMac just for like browsing the internet.
Oh yeah. And
it's like, why do you need that?
Yeah.
For them, they're just like, it's the best I could buy. Like, I got the money. It's the best I could buy. I'll buy it.
Yes. It happens a lot. Yeah. I also know a person who buys a top of the line Alienware gaming computer.
Call him out.
No.
Call him out.
To play Farmland.
Isn't that a Facebook game?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, I'm giving them shit for that. Who is it?
No.
You got all right, I'll cut it out. Wow, bro. I can't believe that person's the one that plays Farmland.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's cool though. I mean, if you can, you can.
You don't need a $5,000 computer for that though.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they know that, but
do you think they actually know that?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Because some people don't. Some
people just like to have nice things.
I like to have nice things, but I'm more informed of like
Practical for what's practical.
Right. It's like, am I actually going to need this?
Yes.
Like, like I said with my MacBook, to spend what I spent on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason why I spent that is because I wanted to future proof it. Like I upgraded it. It would kill me spending that much money, but like I'm like, if I'm going to buy a laptop, I want to make sure it lasts for 5-10 years. I'm not trying to buy another laptop for a while. Like it has to do like a really good job.
At least 5 years.
At least, bare minimum.
At least.
But like I think and so I'm gonna pivot from Apple just a little bit because like
we've been talking about Apple a lot.
Apple makes it seem like Apple's the only company that exists. But like Alienware is another example. I mean, I don't know any of their products that use Pro or Ultra, but I know Samsung specifically will call their phones Ultra, their tablets Ultra. Yeah. And it's like it's the same principle. Like Ultra, like a lot of other companies are like they're dropping these terms at the end. Ultra, Max.
And usually the differences are not
Plus.
even a big deal.
No. Well, and the big thing now at least is like tech is kind of plateaued a little bit. And I know
in what sense?
I know I'll probably receive some heat like from this, but it's like performance. It's like all like you can't go wrong with buying a phone today.
I can only testify for gaming consoles, and that's kind of true.
Pete, gaming, that was disgusting.
I'm sorry.
Why did black shit come out of your mouth?
Huh?
Why did black shit come out of your mouth?
Oh shit.
Oh shit. But like, yeah, you're right. Game consoles like the PlayStation came out with the Pro, not the Pro.
Yeah, it's Pro. PlayStation Pro, PlayStation Slim.
Yeah, PlayStation Pro and PlayStation Slim. It's like the Pro. People have already done the performance tests on it, and it's not much different than
plateau.
Tech is plateaued. It's also like, so going back to the phone thing. It's like how can you really? You get to a point where it's very small and incremental upgrades that it's almost insignificant. The next iteration is almost insignificant.
It's AI.
Well, no, I'm saying
it
like,
has to be.
Well, yeah, but like I'm saying like the phone.
I get what you mean.
My phone right now
without
AI is like I have the 14. No, yeah, I have the 14 Pro.
Why?
Oh, I like. Why? What is this interrogation time?
I mean, Pro equipment doesn't make you pro.
It doesn't.
But we're pros.
It doesn't. The reason, if I'm picking stuff, I know you're laughing over there because like, oh, I got him.
I got him.
The reason why I get the Pro is because like I'm more of a tech enthusiast.
Yep.
Yes, I want to build my own PC. Do I have a PC? No.
It would be nice.
I eventually want to get there, but like I do know, like I'm like, okay, for me it makes sense. I buy the better phone. It has a it has a better battery. It has a better processor. The camera is always better on it. And then also, typically, when you go to resell it later on, you get more for your money.
Facts.
The materials are usually a lot better, and it's just a lot more pristine. So that's just the cost of getting something that's Pro, at least specifically from Apple. But if I'm buying something Pro that is outside of Apple, like PlayStation, the PlayStation Pro or Samsung Ultra or the Ultra tablet or whatever,
would you be as picky because it's not Apple?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Because if PlayStation Pro comes out, even though it's not a lot, would you still get it?
No, not right now. Because because I know that it's a small incremental upgrade compared to what it is now, and I already have a PS5. I made the mistake once of doing the PS4 to PS4 Pro.
I feel like that was necessary.
I
maybe not with the PS5.
You drinking water, bro?
This is not water. It's
vodka. On my podcast?
It's vodka.
Bro, people can hear that. They don't like that. They don't. I didn't like you swallowing that water.
Some people do. It's a weird fetish.
Name 5 people who like it right now. He's like, he closes his eyes. He's like,
that's what I think.
He's like, I can't name 5 people. What was I saying? You distracted me with your water drinking.
I distracted you.
Yeah, with your water.
We're talking about the PS5.
See, because it's a small incremental upgrade.
Right.
Like if you had said that the PlayStation 5, so load times are really good, right? Usually it's about anywhere from 5 to 8 seconds, 10 seconds of load time. If you said that load times were completely gone, like 30 milliseconds I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about seconds. I'm talking about milliseconds.
Yeah.
I'm talking about milliseconds. Milliseconds, bro.
What's below that?
Microseconds.
No, it's not. Milli is for thousands. What's below that? Hundredths? I'm trying to fuck with you.
Bro, just look it up. I don't know. That's why we have Google.
All right. Anyways, you're talking about milliseconds.
But now we have milliseconds, bro. Like if there was like virtually no load time, like I mean none.
There is. It's kind of, even though there's not a lot, it still pisses me off.
Okay,
to
but,
wait at least 5 seconds.
I know, but like,
2 seconds.
Let's say that's gone.
Okay,
and then it can output 8K, and then at the same time, I don't know. You like the Xbox can kind of do it now, but you can have like a couple games in the background. But let's say like you can jump from game instantly.
You
like,
can do that for Xbox. I mean, it's pretty nice.
It's let's say it's even faster than that though.
There's no point.
but that's what I'm saying. Then it would like you have to justify the jump to the Pro. Like it has to be like if I have a basic thing and you're telling me it's Pro, it has to be like in my mind it has to be significantly better than what I already have.
Right.
And if it's not, then for me, in my opinion, it's not worth buying. I'll wait until the next iteration.
Okay. Now, so what about PS4 Pro to a PS5?
PS4 Pro to PS5 is...
I mean, I guess the games. There's no...
I mean, the graphics, the performance, the load times, the FPS.
The graphic change? You think?
Okay. So I was editing the last podcast we did, right? Mm-hmm. And I was watching gameplay for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Okay.
And then I looked at Ratchet and Clank A Quest for Booty. Right, like I remember I told you about.
Yeah, that's PS3.
That was PS3. But if you look at any of the earlier Ratchet and Clanks, even on PS4, there is a jump in graphics.
Oh, there is.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart looks so good on PS5.
I love that game. I love especially the I feel like I talked about this.
You did.
The pirate session.
You did. So don't talk about it anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But no, I think. But going back to the main topic, I think Pro products are personally and. This is also to say you buy whatever you want. It's your money. Mm-hmm. You do whatever you want. But Pro products, personally, to a point, I think they're meant for people who are doing heavy lifting on their computers. Like you're doing graphic design, web design, you're doing video editing, you're doing heavy photography editing, you're doing 3D rendering, you're doing
really?
Yeah, like
for
that.
Apple?
No, just Pro, just anything that's Pro.
Yeah.
Like that professional equipment. That's what that's for.
Yes.
I mean, like we're not professionals and we're using Shure SMB7s.
There you go.
But because we spent the extra money on something that is considered professional, it sounds so much better.
Not only that, it makes us Pro.
We are Pro.
Yeah.
So does it really make you Pro? No.
100%.
No, but you could also argue like people will use the most basic product and they'll make the best thing out of it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's
kind of like an art.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to work within your constraints or work it within the means of what you have. You know what I mean? It's like when we were in college, bro. Like I couldn't afford the Adobe Suite. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I had to find an alternative like solution.
I remember
to it, and so it's like. It's if I can't afford it, you got to find an alternative solution. And that's the thing about humans. So they're crafty. If you can't afford one thing or you can't do one thing, you find another way to do it.
Yeah.
And it may not be to the level of like a pro equipment.
I don't know, man. Some people go above and beyond.
Oh yeah.
It's like with some like really cheap stuff.
Yeah.
And you would think they use some crazy ass shit. But you'd be surprised.
It's I don't know, bro. It's kind of insane. Like, well, let me ask you, because I feel like you've asked me a lot of questions, but I didn't really ask you anything.
What's up?
Why did you bought a MacBook Pro, right?
Oh, what did you buy? Yeah, I bought a MacBook
Why'd you buy?
Pro. Because it was an impulse buy. Bro, I'm gonna say it straight up. It was an impulse buy, and I remember.
Wait, hold on. You can't say that.
I can.
No.
Yes, I can. I just said it.
Just wait, bro. You're not supposed to say that.
Say what?
That it was an impulse buy.
I just said it. I can.
We gotta cut.
No, yeah, it was definitely an impulse buy, but I had, you know, I'm a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
I do side stuff. I also
Side
did
stuff.
You know what I mean? I do side stuff. And back then I used to have a desktop Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Really old. We bought it back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2013 we bought it. We bought a Mac, desktop Mac.
Mm-hmm.
So it was old, and I think it was 2018 or 2019 when I bought my MacBook Pro laptop. It was an impulse buy, but it was a necessity too.
Right.
Again, it goes with my graphic design. I'm really comfortable with the interface in Apple to work with Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, whatever I need to work with, and it was better to take along. Like, but you can't. I remember I used to take my desktop my desktop Mac to people's places, bro.
That's a lot of work, bro.
It was, yeah, bro. And then I realized, man, we should have bought. But it was that Mac. My dad bought it,
Yeah.
just to install some program to switch it to so it has a PC Windows interface.
So he sideloaded Windows onto the MacBook hard drive.
Dumb.
Just buy a PC at that point.
Exactly. Or yeah. So it was kind of stupid, but yeah, I used to carry that thing around, like to my friend's house or to my mom's.
Was this before me, bro? Because I don't remember you telling me about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was in GraphCom, when I was working in GraphCom.
I remember you bought the laptop.
And this was before 2019, 18.
Okay.
And I would go, let's say, to my wife's house at the time, my girlfriend's house. I would carry my Mac with me.
That's so funny.
So I can do work at her house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to buy a MacBook Pro. Did it need to be a Pro? I don't know. I probably would have been fine with just the MacBook Air. But
how do you think it's benefiting you now? The Pro.
I don't know. I don't know how. I wouldn't know because I haven't tried out the MacBook Air. And I'm being straight up honest. Like the reason I got a MacBook Pro, it was because everybody was saying the MacBook Pro is the one that you should get, especially in college. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But in reality, the reason I'm so comfortable with Apple is because the interface and how I know where everything is.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I choose Apple, not because it's better or this and that. I think it's better.
Right.
In terms of like how smooth it is and it worked with my programs. Obviously, that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
But in terms of a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air, I don't know. I probably would have been just fine with a MacBook Air.
I'll disagree with you on that. Just because Victoria has a MacBook Air.
Okay.
It's slow as hell.
Is it really?
At least it's slow as hell. At least for my taste. Like when I went from my MacBook Pro 2015 to the MacBook M1 chip, right? Which is a couple years ago. M1 Max, actually.
Okay.
And so like, because I noticed that my laptop started slowing down, so I was like, I think it's time for an upgrade. And I had that one since I graduated from college in 2016. So I had it for a little over 5 years.
Did you get to sell it back?
No, I gave it to my mom.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because my mom got me that laptop as a graduation project or graduation gift, and
that's cool as hell.
It was at the same time where if you were a college student, you could get the deal where it came with your choice of Beats.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I got the MacBook Pro and a pair of Beats. No, not those.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't choose pink, bro.
I don't know, bro. If my mom bought me a MacBook, I would have been like, you choose the Beats. So
yeah. Well, I ended up giving those headphones to my nephew.
Malaki.
Malake.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
But speaking of like headphones, like what are some other examples of some pro equipment, if you can think of any? I can think of like a couple more off the top of my head.
Some pro equipment.
Yeah.
I would not say equipment, but let's say cars.
I mean, you know a lot of about that.
I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say that. I'm not like an expert, but
he's a gearhead.
Yeah, I'm a gearhead, dude. No, but I would say like cars. When we have the Mustang.
Yeah.
you have the Shelby.
Yeah.
Like, does it make you a racer, a professional racer? Like, are you going to NASCAR? Are you no? You just have something nice as hell.
Right.
You appreciate the equipment. It's like being a tech head and having a PC.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you a pro. It just makes you
like an enthusiast type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Well, it's funny because like there's pro equipment in almost like every industry, like, or in every hobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like you have it in tech, but you have it in cars, and then you have it in like even in audio. Like we just said, we have the Shure SMB7s. Like these are considered professional mics. Can you get mics that are cheaper than this that would still do the job to be professional?
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But like it depends on what your priority is, like, right? Like for us, we're doing a podcast, so it's like what are we going to prioritize more? Yeah. The audio, or are we going to do videos? Like, well, we're not doing video, so we have to make sure the audio sounds good. Yeah. And I remember we only had one mic, and you had brought your Yeti over. That Yeti, like it's good if you're doing streaming because it's more of like I can't remember it's omnidirectional, so it can record in like almost like a 360 type of range or spectrum. Right. But like when you're trying to do a 2-person podcast, like my voice, there's a lot of like leakage on your end for that mic. So in that regard, like in certain circumstances, it's not considered pro, but in certain circumstances, it is considered pro. Yeah. But then you have like camera equipment. I can't even touch that, because like I don't know enough about camera equipment to really touch that, but there are like professional like video cameras and stuff like that.
See, now that you mentioned, now I'm thinking, I kind of been tuning you out for like the last 10 seconds.
Good to know that my words are ignored on the podcast.
No, you mentioned something earlier, enthusiast.
Oh, enthusiast, yeah.
And it kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, you have to love what you do, but you have to be an enthusiast for like
the pro.
Yeah, you have to be like really into almost like looking at it as a piece of art.
Yeah, basically.
Obviously, it's going to make you excited to use it, but I feel like you appreciate it for what it is more than what you're going to use it for.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I feel like if you brought somebody who was an average consumer, like you take our parents, right? Yeah. And we're like, this is like the top of the line. It's pro. It's the best camera. Oh my God. Like you'll clean yourself from it. Like
you clean yourself from it.
For them, they're like, so it's a laptop.
Yes.
Or it's
almost like an insult to like, I get what you mean.
It's like like camera. It's like, oh, this camera can shoot blah, 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 blah. And
what you want? I'm joking.
Yeah. But there's even professional equipment in like cooking. Like you have like professional pots and pans and knives and
everything.
Like if you're a professional, you're using this type of knife, which like, I mean, I credit where credit is due. The craft in making some of that stuff is solid.
And only if you do what you do, you would recognize how good it is. Yes. You would recognize how much of an art it is.
Yes. You have to you have to be like an enthusiast. You have to be somebody who actually appreciates that specific hobby or professionalism or interest to really get the most out of it. Right. But I'll challenge that because like we were just talking about earlier, a lot of people who buy a MacBook Pro or even an iPhone Pro, a lot of those people, some people don't appreciate the refinedness of the Pro. Yeah. And they just buy it because it's like the better phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think the better thing. They're the ones that end up losing.
Yeah. But they don't know that because they don't care. Because they don't care.
Yeah.
But I also challenge
it's almost wasted. You know what I mean? Like, but anyways.
I also challenge that because I know a lot of people who don't care about the phone. They just need it to. Is the camera decent? Yeah. Is the battery decent? Does it work?
Facts.
Like Victoria, she doesn't really care about like the Pro. I ended up getting her the Pro for Christmas. Yeah. But like she had the iPhone mini before and she was fully content with that. But it was starting to slow down.
Of course.
Like obviously our parents, they don't care about the Pro. No. Like, they don't care about being a pro or professionalism or anything like that in terms of like tech. Right. So it's like it doesn't really matter to them. So but some people will buy the cheaper version and it's like it's good enough. Yeah. It does what it's supposed to do. And then the people who are like, it does what it's supposed to do, but I need it to do even more. Those are the people who are buying the Pro.
I just don't think it's right though.
But you can't dictate.
I know.
It's
but
what
I mean,
people
it's
like.
not. I'm not saying this. It's not right because, like, first of all, it's not gonna make you a pro, and second of all, you're wasting your money. But again, I'm nobody to tell you what to spend your money on.
Unless you're specifically working in the industry. Like, let's say you're working like on Marvel movies, you're working on like, right. You got to have something that can actually like that at that point it's professional. Like you're a professional using it. So like what would be some advice you would give beginners who are looking to start into anything, like all spectrums? We said cooking, headphones, mics, tech, cameras. Like, if there's any advice we could give people, like, what would you give them?
I'm not one to give advice, especially on using pro equipment. But
I know.
If I have something to say is work on yourself first. I feel like if you work on yourself first, you would know which equipment to get, and you would appreciate, like, once you work on something enough, you're going to realize the pains that it comes with, and you're going to find tools that eliminate that pain, and you're going to appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
That's your pro equipment. Mm-hmm. The thing that eliminates the pain you've been going through while working through something.
Yeah.
Boom, man. I like that.
Wow,
that was
bro.
Good. That was good.
Someone get this man off the podcast. He's spitting too much fire. Well, so basically you're saying, like, when you say work on yourself, you're specifically relating to like getting like a chip implanted in your head.
Neuralink. Yeah, 100%. No. I mean, work on yourself. Obviously, you should always work on yourself, like outside of professionalism or like outside of professional life, I guess.
Sure.
But when I say work on yourself, I mean work on your craftsmanship. Like like if you're an artist, be a better artist. Don't look for better equipment, but just be a better artist in general.
Yeah, I can agree with that because, like I said, like you see so many creative and talented people on social media, or not even just in social media, but in the real world, that make do with what they have.
Yes.
And some people will literally like
that's almost better to see.
Oh, it's impressive.
That's crazy.
It's like, well, you were able to do that. Like people, I don't know if you've ever seen this. People were able to make Doom, like the old school Doom, run on a pregnancy test.
Nuh-uh.
100%. I might be like fabricating that, but I'm pretty sure they were able to get that running.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
But like people will find any way to do things anyway. And so like my advice, I agree with Pedro's advice. But just to give some other advice in another spectrum, I would say make sure that if you are looking into pro equipment, you actually need it, or you have your mouth open.
Bro, he's right.
I'm right. Yeah.
Dude, Doom running on a pregnancy test.
See, bro.
I mean, it's all black and white, and like some of the stuff is so distortion that you can't tell what it is.
You can do it.
But you can definitely tell it's a first person shooter, and it's like an 8-bit, 16-bit type shit. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
See, but you can do it. It's there's
people
like,
put themselves through challenge test, I guess.
People just want to see if they can do certain things.
That's awesome.
That's it. But it's
almost better for like. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. But it's like I'm so hyped about this. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I would personally say, like, just make sure like you're not overstepping in terms of like what you can afford. Yes, you know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
If you can afford it and you need the pro, buy it.
Yeah.
I would say if you just need something kind of basic for some basic tasks, maybe do some more research on like, well, maybe do I need this, or is it gonna be too much for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're a single person, and you buy a mansion, is that too much house for you? Yeah, probably. Yes. Like you don't 100%. Have kids, you don't have
There's no reason.
Exactly. So you kind of have to evaluate your situation.
But what if you're a rapper? You have to have a mansion.
I'm a rapper.
Spit something.
But yeah, I mean, Doom Eternal, or not Doom Eternal, Doom running. They're running.
I'll be sick on a pregnancy test, bro.
Shit. There's like a big meme in like the community space of like people who are in tech enthusiasts or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, but can it run Doom? or they're like, but can it run Dark Souls?
That'll be crazy.
That's the true test of like somebody's capabilities. Yeah. If you can make something that wouldn't normally
2070s.
Never. It would never be able to run.
Test.
It would never
Don't
run.
put them to shame.
Bro, that thing would be a nuclear bomb.
That would be insane.
It would be so
It'll
crazy.
explode for the overheating.
All the babies would come pop out of the pregnancy test. I don't know how that's possible. But I would say the last piece of advice that I would give people for pro equipment that doesn't make you pro, or pro equipment doesn't make you pro, is thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the LeisureHub Podcast.
He got me again.
We thank you so much for joining us on this one. I love tripping you guys up. I love tripping Pedro up. But like, we really wanted to talk about this one. Actually, I'm gonna be candid here. We actually already recorded this episode. We lost the audio, or only half the audio was there, so we had to record it for you. But this is the lengths, the leaps and bounds we're willing to go for you.
But that's crazy because I think this one came out better.
Oh, 100%.
Do you feel that way too?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And like the way we started it was a lot different too. So I hope I would let us know if you guys like how we just kind of just jumped right into it rather than kind of like slowly easing our way.
I'll let you know right now.
Okay. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. All right. Let me know.
I'll let you know.
But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been your hosts, Justin
and Pedro.
And we thank you so much for joining us on the LeisureHub Podcast. Remember, we drop an episode every single Monday, and then the video portion goes up every Thursday. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, and you see us on Instagram so you can catch up on all the latest jizz jazz. Jizz jazz.
Thank you so much, and have a great evening or night or morning or whatever time of day it is you're hearing.
What if they're dead?
That's fucked up, dude. That's a trip.
Meta. Like a meta quest.
All right, peace.
How?
I almost forgot the how for the first time. Yeah, that came out better than the last.